Is you ready?
I'm ready.
Delpesh, is you ready?
Gotta be ready. So when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
All right. In a world where Disney showed me that they're gonna just have my money for the next three years. This is The Vent. I'm your host, Jay Hunterville. We got the Nerdsy in the building.
Hey.
We got Delpesh in the building. It's been a hot week, in regards to the weather, topics.
Monkeypox?
Yes, I heard the UK was to the UK for listeners, I heard it was very hot out there, and y'all weren't ready for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. People actually died.
Some people did not have ACs. Like, they didn't think they would need them.
Jeez.
Because of how, what's it called? Because they have that overcast, cool...
breeze.
Cool, I'll say environment just to make it easier.
Yeah.
Like, they say 95% of the houses there, no AC.
Yeah, because it's usually cool.
So, how their house is built is it's an oven. You're really just in there just sweat.
Baking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just yo.
My sister was out there around that time. She came back.
Oh, cool. She traveled.
Tuesday, yeah. She went all over Amsterdam, Switzerland, all these places. I go to Switzerland, Swiss Army knife from Switzerland.
Oh, shit, okay.
Here's the thing now. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's global warming, they say, and all these other things, but...
Climate change, yeah.
But how are your guys' week? How do you guys survive the heat? How do you guys beat the heat?
I'm rolling.
Hey, man, I just sat and melted a Klondike bar. I was just sitting... I caught myself sitting in the chair sometimes just when does it stop? When does it stop?
When does it stop?
When does it stop, man?
I swear they say caramel milk does not melt anymore.
Caramel?
Yeah, the chocolate bar.
Does it melt?
It doesn't melt in your pocket. Is that true?
I don't know.
We don't eat chocolate. We don't eat it, right?
No.
We don't eat that anymore.
This is some research. This is a research show.
I heard now there's chemicals in it that it doesn't melt anymore.
Ooh, that's
Listen, all candy seems to be going back.
That's what I'm saying.
what was it? The Skittles?
Yeah,
they're saying
Skittles,
now it's well, let me see.
But
Wow.
yeah, you can do your research on that. Nerdsy, how was your
week? My week was definitely busy. I spent it in and outdoors, mainly indoors. But when I was outdoors,
It wasn't fun.
it was hot. It was very hot. Sweating in all places.
I don't know. Do you ever feel like you're more productive in the winter?
No.
Because I feel like you got to keep... Well, because I work outside, I feel like I have to keep moving in the winter.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I can understand.
But
that
in the
a
summer, it's I get lazy because it's hot.
Really?
And I don't want to move when it's hot.
I'm quite the opposite.
Yeah? You like the summer and you just work in the
I
heat?
love the summer and I work in it very well.
Me.
I think I can do both.
Yeah?
I think I can do both, yeah.
I like the transitional seasons. I like fall and spring. I like
feel like
that
I'm starting to enjoy fall a lot more.
Really?
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
little mix of hot and cold. You know what I mean? I like winter too. I love shoveling snow. I'm a shovel. I don't know why. I know it sounds weird, but I love shoveling snow. It brings something to me.
Star.
But
You were probably that kid who would make a pile and jump in it, weren't you?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was from the
weird.
hood, so I didn't have the opportunity to shovel snow till I was in grade 11.
Oh, true.
So I was yeah, it's snow
Yo,
angels and all of them sitting there.
what
You do that at the park on your way to school, but it's you don't even get to embrace your snow angel. You just have to cut, go to school. But yeah,
I hear you. Make your own fort. Yeah.
Right.
Only during the hours of recess.
I didn't really do that, but I would see my neighbors, their children would do that. They'll build the fort, legit fort and everything, and I'm man, it's pretty cool. I thought about doing it because I do trades. I feel I could actually set it up proper, like an actual dome. But I don't think there's ever enough snow, and sometimes I just want to get it out the driveway so I can go where I need to go.
Yeah.
You know,
unless it's the one
when it's heavy.
That reminded me nah, this ain't for me anymore. This snow thing ain't for me anymore.
It's one thing when it's just heavy snow and it's you can walk through it, but when it's lift up knee.
Yeah, it's lift up knee big is a little.
You're just okay.
That's too much.
I get that. And I wore my snowsuit last year too. I wore my snowsuit
Watch you being a big kid.
I'm a big kid now. like snowsuit, boots and everything. But last week we were speaking about like the gun situations in
Let me behave.
Yeah, the gun situations in Toronto. And the shootings, and I don't know if it's just the weather or just the COVID pandemic, like just got everybody outside doing things, like people getting stabbed at subway stations, set on fire at subway stations. Yeah. Like it's just some like craziness has been happening, shooting in like public areas, like and
lounges,
clubs, like and
restaurants.
And I remember we spoke about how, you know, unfortunately, like what would happen if security is like, you know, the whole thing about security guards. Like, what do you say or do when a security guard, like, their job, like, and you're frisking and, you know, guns come to play. So unfortunately, this week, condolences to the family and friends that are suffering loss. 2 security guards died from a shooting in the Vaughan area. Damn. I don't know how it went down, but like 2 security guards died to that. And it's terrible because you're working. Everybody wants to go back home after work. So condolences to that family. But like, I do believe that there has to be some type of change. But like, when these things happen and people just be getting away, untold mysteries, untold stories, all these things, you know, something comes to my mind, I'm like, yo, sometimes, like, I'm not a gangster, okay? So sometimes I feel like you just need to bring the snitches back. Like, I feel like that's what I feel like.
You're saying it's Randall season right now. Just to,
hey,
like a lot of things just don't make sense. And
Randall season, man.
I feel like
no, the Caribbean culture needs to come and get adopted over here in Canada, because we all know snitching does not exist.
In the it really doesn't. No,
it really doesn't
have. Yeah, but that's the thing. Everybody knows, but everybody doesn't know. Everybody knows what the situation happened, but no one's telling the police. Right. And these things continue to happen.
Yeah.
We're basically playing mafia, so people might know who the killer is, but they're not gonna say it because they'll die. And the problem is these murders are not organized. I'm not saying organized murder is better. But like spontaneous.
Like
it's very like wild. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, other what? Other things had rules. Are like, yo, look, you can't shoot anybody until we have a meeting about it. Why you want to shoot this person? No, don't shoot him. Just left him. Just like
not even to say anybody to die is okay too, and it's
that's
like
not
organized.
Okay. Yeah, but like
my thing is just duel it out like how cowboys used to in your own arena. Do not put other people in harm's way. That's one. But even before getting escalating to guns, try and resolve it. How about that?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
nobody wants to throw hands anymore.
Seriously,
I feel like that's what's necessary.
Throw some hands, like
tell you the truth.
At least you go home.
Yeah, right? At least you know it'd be pretty cool if man's like, let's say rappers or blocks have beefs or whatever. Book a boxing club, book at a boxing event.
Yeah.
Make people pay to get in to watch you guys box. Have your headliners, whatever. You guys box it out and you go see another day.
And then you also get some money.
You all get paid.
Yes.
People would love to watch these fights. Right. They will pay to watch you guys fight, make your money for your community or your block, and go out and have a good day. Hash it out.
As opposed to like random shooting.
But at the same time, mans are not okay to get punched in the face anymore because they get punched in the face and now they want to kill people.
Or jump people.
People don't want to fight one-on-one anymore. Everybody wants to jump.
Like we were talking about Charleston and Soldier. Like, what do you mean you're gonna...
You want to talk to me?
So see, okay, let's scenario, guys. Someone wants to talk to you, but there's 10 other people around them talk to you. So what happened, allegedly, I guess, Charleston was like, oh, you want to talk to me? All right, and then as Soldier Boy was coming closer, he just went, bear mace, and he said,
oh, you maced me? Yeah,
I maced you. And he said, he said, what did he say? He said they all marched back in a single file back into their vehicle. Like they gave up because he maced everybody. He used bear mace on them.
The way I
bear mace gel, so that So when you get gelled like this, like gel like
sticks.
this, it sticks.
It's not like
So you can't even
wipe
like
off. Yeah, it just smears. But here's the thing, like it's one of those things. It's just like,
but nobody died. You know what I'm saying? Like
I just don't understand. Like I just don't like. What do we have to do to stop this? Like sometimes, and here's another thing. Sometimes, you know, I don't feel like some companies or maybe clubs, maybe I don't know what their protocol is when it comes to making sure all attendees in their events are safe. A lot of people are just there for the money. They don't think about the safe. Maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know how you go about that, but like, I think to have great events, sometimes it's just as easy as putting the price up because no one's going to spend and like I said, like, you know, last week when we talked about OVO Fest, I feel like they do things for things like that because they believe that maybe paying a certain price, a certain type of people is going to be there. And certain type of things, it's not usually the case.
I don't know if it's that effective.
I mean, that's very, like, okay. Yeah, everything we've just said has just been so...
It's just a flurry.
It's a flurry. But it's also just, like, it's sad. Because, okay, these people, at no point are we actually dealing with the persons themselves. It's counteracting everything to inhibit them to appear. But either which way, they never actually went through the building. It seems like this was from the door that they shot the security.
That's just
so
nuts, like,
from the outside, it was already harm, right? So it's like putting the price up. If we're gonna have cops, for example, now patrolling and squatting these events, now that's a cost to an event. That's an additional cost. A cop alone is like $800.
Yeah.
So $800 for like 4 hours, that's a lot.
But it's unfortunate, but maybe just for the safeness of the attendees.
Well, why do we have to get there? Now we're really having the cops in everything.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that that's the case, but
they don't know
a lot of people want to go and have a good time.
Right?
Yeah. Majority of the people, yeah.
Right. But at the same time, you know what's the thing I think about too? Because everything when it comes, it's all about business in that sense. Safety or the cost-effective thing. Markup. Like, think about it. The markup on just bottles. We know, like, you guys are getting like 200%.
Hey. That's not true. But continue.
Well, the profits are drinks.
The prices that I've been seeing are very, very, very decent.
Okay.
Decent?
A Henny bottle for like what? I think I seen one where it was like $200 for a Henny bottle. That's decent.
How much is a Henny bottle at LCBO?
Henny bottle is like at least $70.
That's like double your markup.
That's actually... Yeah.
$200? But you have to still pay the person who got the bottle.
I mean...
Then you gotta pay just for a loss. And whatever else comes from the... Yeah. And the license to have your permit.
Okay, that's fair. But that's like a year. You probably get that by 5 attendees. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how it works. Maybe a club goer has to come and tell us how it goes.
Hey, I used to work on a bar, okay? I used to do this.
I'm leaving it alone. But
how much?
It's one of those things where it might have to go down that line that we need. Because I feel like, you know, I don't go to these... I already said this year, like... When it comes to going to events, I might just have to cool off. Yeah, because it's only July. It's only July, and people are doing this. I might just have to just chill out for.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean?
But the gangsters win.
That's what the Nerd Z said. The gangsters win when we don't go outside. But
yeah, you can't have these people like force you inside because.
But if the gangsters are still deciding to shoot, for me, I've been in a situation like Sands. That year when it was like the Sand Stampede.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, for me, to prevent that, I don't want to be in that type of situation ever again.
Understood.
So, like, maybe if you guys want to go out to your parties, that's fine. But I just wanted to cool off because I think these people just have no rationale now. They're shooting security guards, people that protect everybody in the vicinity. You know what I mean? And I do believe, and cops show up.
But are those security guards at clubs like patrol security guards? No, they're not.
Oh, they're like the kind of the.
Yeah, they're the ones with the t-shirt. They just man the front, and that's it.
Yeah, but it's still like nevertheless, like it's still bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like shoot.
So like now it's like now you got to think about bringing cops to enforce.
Wait, for San, do you think if cops were there, it wouldn't have went like that particular day?
Me personally, no.
It still would have happened.
I don't think it would have happened. I don't think it would have happened.
Oh, you don't think it would have happened?
I don't think it would have. Listen, I've been to an event where, this was years ago, when Bounty Killer was supposed to arrive. And if you seen the cops that showed up for this one event, listen to me, nothing would have happened over there. They had bulletproof vans, body armor, like, it was serious how much security is there. That's why I'm thinking Rolling Loud might be just like that, because Rolling Loud, I think that business pays cops.
Right.
I don't think they go through, like, they might go through maybe some civil, but I think Rolling Loud, like, that's how you see these artists get arrested on Rolling Loud stages.
Right.
Like, they work with the
police. Yeah.
Right. And maybe it's one of those, sometimes, and that's the thing, sometimes I think it's a conspiracy. It's like, yo, we'll pay this guy so they have to start coming to the city for protection. Maybe, but for me, it's just.
That's a conspiracy. Oh,
I don't know. I'm surprised that you have to pay like a lot of money just for police to show up.
Yeah, because they're like.
They are a lot.
Because I'm gonna stand here. I want my OT. So you're paying. They probably throw that price in. Like, I want my OT price.
The baseline is $800.
Lord God.
That's just to come out the door.
Then another thing I think about is like, you know, you have the clubs in Toronto, because I think, you know, Vaughan is out the area, right?
It's
but the club in Toronto is like, these things happen, but like, I believe, I don't know if they have, it's safe to say they have like preventative measures, cameras, cops are usually just roaming around anyway. But maybe, like, you know what I mean? Certain events downtown, like, you know, you know what I mean?
They have a red button in the upstairs by the DJ.
Or they're just
some
there.
places have that though.
Or cops are just there. Like they're just there in the vicinity.
They got that.
Maybe because, you know, if a shooting happens, it depreciates the value of the area. Like
which is another thing.
Right.
Yes.
So like there's
a lot of factors that play when people do dumb stuff like this.
I do believe there's some preventative measures.
Education.
Education, that's one.
Randalism.
Man said randalism.
Randalism. Well, okay.
Some people...
You need a certified snitch.
Certified tellers, just to calm it down a bit, because like stop.
Not necessarily that people that are in the game, but people that are willing to cooperate with police and explain what they saw.
Basically,
to the T.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I feel like for those who are listening, if you're offended by this,
I mean, because
people are going to be very much offended by it. It just comes down to like, well, how much of your like moral compass is there? That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I understand the other part of it, which we're not really speaking about, is that sometimes people will say things just to get you in trouble.
Right.
We're not talking about those situations. We're talking about situations where it's like, we know it's all wrong. You should not do that.
Yeah, you're
right.
Like what? Like how to get from A to Z?
Yeah.
Like
why are people dying at this event?
Like,
you know what I mean? So I do believe like there's something. There has to be some type of preventative measure. Sometimes I do believe there's some entertainment parties that they don't really care about people that work the people or the entertainers. This is just solely for money. We're not thinking about the protection of the citizens. Like, yeah, to an extent you have to, but some of them is like,
bare minimum?
Bare minimum.
Well, maybe that's their job.
Yeah, sometimes it's bare minimum. It's like, yeah, we're going to have shootings every day, but it's still going to be packed.
Yo.
That's how some people
will still show up.
They're doing their job.
That's an ill philosophy.
People will change when some people say, I am not going there. They shoot down the place.
That's the thing, yeah. Up to now, people will be like, yo, I don't go on Eglinton because people get shot there and what?
But there's some people that, but like, I just feel like when it comes to like legit like events,
you should see Parkville
events and all those places, we need to hold them accountable in a sense to be like, hey man, like, I'm not saying for people not to go into the event, but like, hey, these people are not gonna show up if these things happen. You gotta have some type of preventative measure,
right?
as much as it's like, yeah, I know it's the community's fault. Communities like has to be a part of this as well, or party goers have to be a part of this situation. As much as like the environment might not be that, I feel like when things like this happen, something's got to give. Something's got to give. Because if you're gonna have these events, you're gonna have a good time. That's why I'd rather just go to a game night, have a good time, karaoke. Like, I mean, I'm just too old for these events where, you know, you're going in, everybody's mean mugging, everybody's all OG for the moment, everybody's pop bottles for the moment. I guess it's the look, fine, but like.
But I mean, clubs and club owners also.
Your matches on the ground. No, just in general, like, you know, these people just go out like they're like superstars in the club.
Oh, well, I was gonna say they make vibes though.
No, which is fine.
They create the vibe as to what they want inside an event or a club, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Like even just the other day.
Die after the vibe, you know what I mean?
You don't
die after the vibe.
I don't want to die after the vibe.
But only certain vibes bring certain energies.
That's the more specific.
We say like trap music or something. I get it,
things.
But like
only certain vibes bring certain energies.
I know. And that's the problem. Yeah, you know what? Personally,
that was not specific to anybody, mind you. No. It was just.
Yeah, no, that's true. So I'm not gonna lie to me personally. You know, going out with Nerdsy back in the day and stuff. We've been to Soca offense, and nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Maybe very drunk people.
Yeah.
But
nothing like this happened.
So for those listening, Soca is like another genre of Caribbean music.
Yes.
Like people.
Even like Calypso.
Calypso, yeah.
Like it's a certain vibe that's been there. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's okay just because it's a different vibe, but like sometimes this is what I think sometimes, and you know what?
Even wait a minute, wait. Soca. Is it Soca and it's Soca Fets or Fets is singular?
Fets are the actual like term for the party for Socas.
Then you have Afrobeat. I've never heard anything go left in
Afrofusion and all those stuff. Afro house.
I don't hear stuff go left in a reggae. Dancehall could be 50-50.
Dancehall could be 50-50. Big press trigger me not, and then just people take it literally.
But then depends on what the person's rapping about. I guess like I said, like a Kendrick show. Probably not, but then like a West Side Gun show. Ooh,
yeah. But probably not either because
probably actually
you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's just
certain music. I guess there's an argument for that. Like certain music,
vibes,
like
I do believe that like even I'm just saying like from security has a part to play for a safer environment. I do believe that attendees do as well.
They should be responsible.
I do believe, as weird as it sounds, and I may sound weird, I feel like women have this power that's very, like, it's tapped in. Some people tap into it, but it's very, like, untapped. Because I feel like if women say, yo, we're not going to this event, we're not going to these things, we don't support these type of actions, like, people have to change. A lot of people do things for women already, eh?
And, yes. There was actually, you know what? You said that? That was so good. Because I had a conversation recently. Ooh, this conversation was so good. Because my girl and I, we were talking about how one of the mandem got very upset about the type of girls that were at the party and said that how these girls were stush. But essentially it was, this man, they were at a fete. This man could not keep up to the beat, couldn't dress well, didn't even know how to spritz on some cologne. The comment was that what he wore to bed, he wore to the club.
That's good.
It was another series of things, right?
If you're in a hygiene god out here, I don't know what to tell you guys.
But the same concept where it's like the only reason why he goes to fetes particularly, it's not his genre of music why he was listening, but it's because of gal. Same thing as you're saying.
That was my reason at one point.
Wait, she's saying women picked up on like, oh, you're just here just to
be here to get girls.
Pick up on it.
Some pick up on that vibe.
You're not here to like enjoy yourself and have a good time. You're only here for your own self-interest. You want gal. And that sometimes causes a lot of
that
issues.
Energy will be shown.
Exactly.
It will be
very
shown.
Quickly.
You would dance with him and not dance with me?
But it's real though. It is real. It is
and then
so
that's where
real.
the animosity comes in.
It is so real though. It's real.
But yo, all that mist in your face. Yo, you talking? Yo, I talked to her.
Yeah.
But it's also
that energy. Like I remember, me and Nancy even one time.
My youth. Hey, boy. Man, start the music. Yo, start the music.
No, that's a joke. Me and Nerdsy went to an event, and it was a soca event, and everybody was having a good. It looked like everybody was having a good time.
Right.
But there was an OG guy that was walking through mean mug. That guy stood out so crazy, like but it was weird because it stood out so crazy. That it wasn't even like nobody was scared of the person.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like the man came in, hoodied up, not like, but he probably was okay, but he just had a mood and a vibe that man's literally whoever were dancing, have a good time or whatever, or watching the events on the stage, they saw that and they were like, what's wrong with this person? Like, you could see it, like everybody's like, yo, what are you dealing with?
She's just taking a bubble and you're just like, yo, what?
Yeah.
But everybody had their eyes locked on him. Like locked on.
Everyone's like, yo, what the?
But it went back to what they're doing. But for me, it's like it's been a very long time since I've been to these events. But
essentially it shows, right? Like clearly you know that you're not the fact that everybody else is jumping and waving and you're standing there and you're the only person being grabby on people.
But here's the thing. Another thing is
the key part of grabbing.
Here's another thing too. A lot of people. It's not even about jumping and waving. Some people can tell when you're nervous. Like it's one of those things too. Like, and that's what I realized about those events. People can tell where you're just here for a gal, or you're just you're here to enjoy yourself. And some people are nervous, and you can see it. That's why some girls will pounce on you. Some girls will realize, hey, come jump in. You know what I mean?
You want a drink?
Yeah,
come get some rum.
No, it gets like that because a lot of people just I was nervous.
Someone's just like, please, no, you grab my hand, no. I get you're nervous. You just,
but they will know. It's not like.
But you would be embraced with openness when you're nervous.
Yeah.
But if you're grabby, no one's gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Just a grab could just off
the whole thing. Yeah.
But hey,
as you stand in the corner, she's like, hey, cook. You're like, nah. I'm good in this corner. No, please, no. And then he's just like, how do I move my hips? I don't
move my hips. Don't worry, you would be taken care of.
You'll be like, you'll get destroyed the next day. Like, yo, you'll be like, the next feto, I'm okay today. I got humbled. I got out niggered, or I got out danced, or out wind out. I'm going home, and when I come back, I'm gonna come back a demon. You know what I mean? My hips will be greased. I'll be prepared. Unlock my.
But you know what? That is some really great, positive, optimistic perspective from coming away from the event.
These girls be moving different.
Right? That's good. But these guys who come into the club with this type of like mentality where it's like, oh, I'm here for gal and therefore gal's supposed to serve me. They get so mad, and it's actually disrespectful.
I guess you what? You grease your hips before you leave. That's a funny visual. Someone's really
like
greasing
their hips, but like make sure your hips can move. I guess because some people's hips can't move.
For those who are listening,
they need to stretch.
Please stretch before you enter a dance hall or a
just cat roll.
You have to stretch.
They can't keep up.
That's very true.
It's like fast wine. It's like
your knee.
I think because my back, I can't fast wine anymore. I can still slow, but I'm not gonna. I have to wait till this thing.
Man, not for fast wine.
Yeah, I guess.
And see, that's where the problem lies. Man, not for swing no hips. What type of idiot music can't play about swing hips? You know what I mean? I mean, some people, that's just the energy of different people. But I do believe.
Can't do it like
I do believe. I do believe though, like at the same time, like women have the power to like. It's tapped, but it's untapped. But a lot of people dress or do things for the sake of women. Just like as women do some things for the sake of men, there's a lot more mans.
Slave to the rod. How some dudes are slave to the cat. To the cat. Yes.
Like some people, they'll be like, yo,
an actual slave.
They'll be like, yo,
a sweaty.
Some next man will tell the next man, yo, why you dressed like that? Now that's not gonna get you no gal. And it's like, and this is a man telling you about what a girl would want.
Which
logically, it doesn't make that much sense, but the manager be like, yo, you're right. Still, I need to change my swag. And it's like, which girl told you that? And then sometimes the girl will tell you. You know what I mean? And then you go from there. But like,
keyword, what one girl told you, not like a group. Like that's the thing.
And then, you know, some girls like different things. But like the masses say, hey, you gotta wear this now.
Right.
This is what looks good. A lot of times the girls don't even say it. They just see another man do it and they're like, all right, we're all gonna do it now.
I mean,
the women didn't even say they like it yet. They just said, okay, he has money. Like, we don't know how it works, right?
Yes.
But I don't understand the fashion thing.
Shout out to the women that like husky dude. I'm a husky.
Burly men.
One time a dude called me slim. No. One time a dude called me slim thick, and I was very disturbed. But shout out to the women that like slim. I can't even say that. I'm say husky. Shout out to the women that like husky dudes.
Husky's fine.
I won't be husky in the future, but
yes.
Shout out to y'all now.
Yeah, like man,
can't believe you call me slim thick.
It's just a weird thing, but I do believe like women have the power to say, right, this is in, that is not in. This gangster full gang thing is not in. We want people with degrees. We want people with things. Yes. And a lot of people are not gonna like the change. Because a lot of people don't want to change. And hence why you have situations. It's just a complex thing, because this is how you have situations like what TD Jake said. I'm gonna find the clip right now, and
you can put the phone to your mic actually.
Yeah, Del Prosperity will be editing this out or putting it together. But give me one sec. This week, TD Jakes said this.
This breaks all sociological orders of the culture we're living in now. Because we're raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you're climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house, but until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why.
Now that is so loaded.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll go there. How do you feel about this, Nedzi?
It's just so loaded. There's so many things. It's the fact that he bases materialistic things to a physiological need. That's the issue. So the fact that he was like, oh, I can't pour into you until it's like you have a need for me. If I could buy everything that I need to have, that does not mean or stop you from loving me.
Oh, shoot.
Period. Does not mean you cannot provide me protection in any form or matter. Period. Doesn't mean that you cannot engage in conversation with me either. So,
All right. I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna disagree with what you're saying. I just feel like, here's my thing. Me being a person watching this, and I watch this and I'm like, okay, when he says like, you know, women are trying to be like men, for me, I'm like, that could never happen. Because a man is a man and a woman is a woman. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's gender tropes or whatever. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. I think what is changing is what standards a man and a woman should have. I think that's what's changing in this world now.
I don't think so.
I think it's changing. Or it's like a battle. Like as a man, you should be doing this.
No.
And you should be the head of the household financially. And, you know, woman has to be like...
The helper.
They need you, in a sense. They supply on the man. But, and for me, it's like, you know, the household is like, my mom was the go-getter. Like, my mom was the person that held everything. Like, my dad was good, too. Everybody was doing their thing. But, like, my mom was the person in the house, like, setting everything up. I didn't see my mom as less. Never.
Yeah.
I never seen it as, like, a scale of, like, oh, you know, the man is the man in the house, and the woman should submit to the man or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's very weird when I hear like women try to be men, and I'm like, what does that mean? Is it because they're corporate and like, is it corporate? Because I don't mind a woman that's corporate. I don't mind that. Like if you want to excel in that aspect, go ahead. But you know, I guess the issue is when it comes to like, I guess families, like how does it operate in like a family household? And I'm like, I'm just trying to wonder. I really wonder how it affects the family. What? Because they're gonna cook less, or they're gonna like, you know what I mean? Like where, like where, like.
If there's two adults in the house, and you got your next legacy to take care of, like your kids, right? Like both adults should be able to cook. I don't care. I don't like. This is a PSA from me to you, to people listening. If you're an adult and you don't know how to cook, you're whatless. I'll put 10 toes on that.
You can put that. What I was told is if, and I know you should be
able to cook for cook for yourself.
Clean.
You should be able to cook, clean yourself. Because before you were living together, anyways, you had to clean
by yourself.
Well, some people don't.
Exactly.
That's where the change is. Like some people, they'd be like, well, you know, my parents are doing this the whole time, so when I'm in my relationship, it's gonna be the same. That's like, what I want, my parent type thing.
And that I think is where the real issue lays, because what happened was people's I think what it is, parenting got lazy. To be point blank, period. I think that as a bachelor, you were supposed to, a man bachelor, you were supposed to learn all these things that your parents gave you. You had to learn how to drive. You had to learn how to fend for yourself, get money, this, that, and the third, right? Cool. Maybe your sisters or your siblings would also be going to school, but they would also learn how to cook, clean, do all that stuff, right? How to have a mate. You would learn how to have a mate as well. That's what the expectations of your parents would do. Provide you the skill set for you to have a mate. That was really it.
And and like you should add, that's if they do that.
That's if they do it.
Right.
And I think that parenting has gotten sloppy. They don't do that now. And now it's more so you have to fend for yourself and find someone who could accommodate you, and you are dependent on them.
At 4 years old, they just hand the child this. GG.
And the harsh reality too is like society did change in a sense where.
What part?
In a sense where it's like some people, like, I do believe like, there's a sense of survival, but at the same time, like, because I will think it's because of the government and systematic. I know I never said that word in a
minute.
There's a lot of systematic situations where it's like the opportunity to learn how to cook or the opportunity to do certain things is like null and void because of it's just conditioned. Like, hey, you're responsible for the money, because if you're not responsible for the money, who's gonna cook? Like, it's just a weird thing where it's like,
I was gonna say,
I think it's just programmed that way, but like you could still learn how to cook, but it's just programmed a certain way. What I was told as a child, that hey, you better learn how to, like, I know it was a terrible way of saying it, but you gotta learn how to cook before you have to learn how to wash your drawers.
That's a real thing. I was saying too, like the cooking in general, like. I remember the last time I took home ec was like, high school? They don't even have that program anymore.
Yeah, I know.
They don't even have, there was a parenting class too, right? Yeah. That's not a thing anymore.
You sure?
Yeah.
Really?
They
only until high school, and then in parenting you learn.
Yeah, I know in like high school you'd get
high school you get, but I'm talking like.
About parenting.
Remember, we graduated like way back. We graduated way back, so I don't know. post 2010s to now.
Yeah, 15.
With all the budget cuts and we got to pull this program out because we don't have enough money type thing.
But what I realized at the same time, a lot of these younger kids, they actually have it together a little bit more than, I don't know where it happened, but like...
What do you mean like a little more like...
Because who are their parents?
More entrepreneurship. And maybe that is what it is, the parenting. Like, maybe it was like a first generation thing, and then it's like... So second generation, like the second generation should have a little bit more up to like, I don't know, like getting themselves together, because the first generation is like
more
they gotta go through the tussle of like life and survival.
Because basically some of those parents are what, Generation X, some of them are baby boomers, some are tail end baby boomers. So it depends. Usually
like the foundation's created for the first generation in a sense, and then the second generation is where like things blossom. I don't know if sometimes I think that's how it goes.
Evolution basically. It's supposed to be going always up. At a certain point, like your grandbaby shouldn't even know what like being in the hood means, being in ghetto means. Like they should have no concept of that.
Yeah, because that's not their baseline.
That's not their baseline. Yeah.
So when these things happen, where it's like, for me, it's just like what makes. Like for me, when a woman says they don't need men, I understand what he's saying in that aspect. But like, I understand what the woman's saying too.
I think it's context though that matters.
It's the context.
If it's saying, if it's like, I don't need you in the sense that I'm not dependent of you. If you leave and drop tomorrow, I'm not going to be sitting here like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Desperate, confused, overwhelmed. I don't know what the next steps are going to be.
Right, yeah.
I can do that. So I don't need you in that sense of maybe materialistic things or providing money so I can be able to cook for my next day. I don't need you in those aspects. But what I may need you in are the things that are not physical. Like I said, the love, the security, the relationship, the conversation. I will need you for those things.
And another thing is like, I noticed too, is like, me personally.
To be fair with that though, I guess, okay, people who can look behind the curtain can understand that, but like, I guess some people need it in plain English, like you, the way you just described it would have helped a lot of people if more people took your approach. Like,
right, but like some people,
like I'm good on this,
but
like
woman's trying to step up or or that person's trying to step up, and
it's not a competition. It's not to bust your ego or your pride.
And another thing is, it's like, I wouldn't want a woman that needed me in a sense. Like, because that means like if you need me to pay for everything or whatever, is that the only reason why you're here? You know what I mean? Like I understand certain things are required in your relationship or whatever, but if that's not there, are you still here?
Yeah, like you latched onto me because I can fulfill this need.
A lot of these women and men are shallow as hell. Yeah, and they'll be like, "Yo, I will not be with this person if they didn't have this." So how do you know you love that person?
That's what allegedly may happen to whose relationship? Is it Bob? Is it no? It's what's that guy's name from Mad TV?
Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee and his girl. People, it's dangerous to imply that, but people are like, yeah, you were kind of around because of his fame, his notoriety, the money, the look.
Like, and a lot of people, and that's the thing. Like, some people don't have and I guess that there's that whole concept. I think we spoke about this a while back, where 100 and 100 makes 100.
200.
200.
Yeah.
If someone's coming with this and they're all together and someone else is still trying to figure themselves out, yes, you guys could make something, but sometimes, like, I guess it's whatever each person needs. But if that's not there, does that, like, would you love that person? Some people want a woman with the bag, man with the bag, because, you know, they don't want to struggle their whole life or this and that and whatever. Some people want
reasons, like, I want to. Like, there's a lot of relationships. Like Tyrese and the girl he recently split with. Were like, this guy went on a full Tyrese rant, classic rant. He's just like, God, I need the pillars to be removed from my life, and he's saying all sorts of stuff. But like, but basically, like, allegedly, I guess it was implied that there were shallow reasons, like that the relationship was like on hollow ground, right? And she released a statement saying like, look, I was there for you when you lost your mom, your sister, when you lost your in your situation with your daughter, and it's like
some people that don't matter. You need the money, or you need this.
Yeah,
you don't need that, and that's where
I think people don't understand what relationships entail, personally, because there's the physical part, or the materialistic and physical parts, and then there's the emotional and mental parts. And a lot of people are either or.
That's actually.
And I do believe like when it comes to a relationship, there has to be a sense of growth, like in both parties.
Yeah,
like the man, the woman, or whatever you want. It's just there has to be some type of growth in both individuals going upwards. Like it is meant for you guys to grow as individuals. Like you guys have differences, you guys work through them and all that stuff. But like, you know, back to like, you know, we all understand that part. But like, when he says women try to be like men, I just need to
be more clear.
Yeah,
he'll probably have a statement
because
later in the week.
I agree with the whole thing saying like, oh, I don't need you, but like, how are you saying that? Are you saying that to be like, yo, I don't need you?
Condescending.
Like Z, like Z saying
like some
like I don't need you for these things. Is she saying, or is it condescending? No, I don't need you. The Jiros ain't shit
in my life.
Because some men be saying that, yo, I don't need you. I have a whole bunch of this.
Men say it, and men say it all the time.
And women be saying, I don't need you. I have a whole bunch of this.
Right.
It's not about needing. It's about loving each other, no?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. A lot of people come back to that whole concept of relationships. They don't understand. Why is it such a need thing?
Yep.
Why?
And it just doesn't make, like, I get it. Like, I totally get it. Like, but at the same time, when it talks about the dynamic of family, and I do believe if, you know, yes, there's going to be two people that's going to get it together and whatever. I feel like there'll be some, like, there's a way, I feel like, I don't know if there's a certain standard to have, like, how to have a family. I don't know, like, the set standard, because, you know, a lot of people I know around, the family is not like a traditional TV family, or like, you know, it's like not like
two
similar.
children,
There's different ways.
Little dog, white
Some
fence.
people, they had a single mother, you know, their whole life, and they raised them amazingly.
Yes, this is true. But you have to look at it from the lens of his Christian eyes when he says a family, right? He's saying the man's going out and doing all the labor. The woman's at home, rearing, which is also a form of labor. People don't realize, because it is a job. People get paid to raise other people's children. It is labor.
In that Atlanta episode, right, with the Trini grandmother.
Yeah, which is fine. I get that, and I understand the Christian lens, but like, and this is something I tried to explain, and I had this discussion, but it's always about the wording. About, you know, this whole thing, like how it says the Bible, you know, a lot of people go and say, oh, women must submit to the man. I may be wrong in my translation. Someone come check me. I may be stupid about it, but I've read it. And I know there's that one part that says women must submit to the man. And women use this all the time to say, oh, that's what it says. And I don't want to submit to my man. I should submit to my man.
And again, that's all context.
Context. But fair enough. But then it says men must love their wives like Christ loved the church.
Okay.
Y'all remember how Christ loved the church? He died. He put his life on the line for the church. That was his form of submission. It was still submitting. It's still submission. But at the time, you got to think about how it was. And this is the thing I was trying to explain. You have to remember the time it was written. That was not normal. Like, it was just normal that women submit to men.
No, it's normal. It's normal on both parts. I think that people fail to understand.
It is.
No, people fail to understand that being the submissive party does not only mean you are the weaker party.
Right.
Submission also means that you are very strong. There are many situations where you're supposed to walk away from it. And you are showing strength by walking away.
Be the bigger man.
Exactly. And being the bigger man is walking away. And that is a form of submission. So that is what it is. It's just people's understanding is very limited as to the degree of certain words.
It's kind of like I heard like you can't be a great leader if you don't follow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A great king was always a great servant.
At one point, yeah.
Right. And the harsh reality, I don't know. Sometimes when I hear these things, it's kind of like, I understand where everybody's coming from, but I feel like if you're already coming to a place where you can tell your partner, hey, I don't need you, or I run you based off the things I do, or that type of thing, that is not a healthy relationship off the rip. You're not there because, and it's either two things. Some people that are just there. In our reality, I watched Last Chance You, and the man said, I think there's two things about people. They're in your life because they really love you or they want something from you.
That's
And that may be the case in these relationships.
That's tough.
That may be a case in these relationships where, you know, let's say, hey, I can't get this bag for you. And someone else buy will because they have scammer money.
They PPP or what, a cervical?
And some people, they believe grass is greener on the other side, and then it's really not. You're not happy. You got it all, but you're not happy.
It's like the thing Z said last episode about the guy would fly the girl out every weekend, and then what something happened where
he stopped.
As soon as he stopped, the girl just went, yeah, I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna just go back.
She go get way.
That's just.
That was the only purpose, man.
He found out that day, like, oh, okay.
But what can you do if that's what you set her up as?
But did he really set it up as, or is
That's
just
what
like?
you said. Listen, when you go, this is one thing I've learned. One thing my parents told me when it came to relationships, especially from a man. If that man come and start you at a base this high,
keep it that way.
He has to keep it there and go up. That's it.
And
he is not allowed to go low.
That's what I'm hearing now.
He's not allowed to go low.
He is not allowed to go lower than that.
Start at McDonald's, guys.
Because
you can never go around with McDonald's. If you can't handle McDonald's, you can't handle Moxie's.
The whole reason.
Wow.
No, but the whole reason is because it's your first impression.
Right.
Right? So your first impression is to really say, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I'm a part of. This is whatever, right?
Right, yeah.
You are now choosing whether or not I'm the person that you want to continue walking on the path with based on what is happening.
Right, yeah.
That's
You know what? I have a good idea. Let's do this. Let's say like the first date, it should be a date where, you know, they go to Timmy's, a coffee date.
Okay.
The man comes as he is, casual, relaxed. The woman comes in as she is, no makeup, nothing. Just come as you are. Mm-hmm. Or at least have like a I don't know, maybe like a blind date. Date you don't see each other. You just be talking.
And just talk.
Just like so when you say blind, you mean like someone just sits you down and you're literally blind and you're just like you feel each other and you're like and you just talk.
I swear they should have had like a COVID date TV show.
That's really
good. Like
good.
people had a mask and they're just talking.
You just see the eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think there's some videos on YouTube that did
Something like that, and they take it. I'm just, whoa, okay.
They have the UK one where you go from the feet up and you see the person naked.
Yeah.
That one.
You judge based off how they're built.
But a lot of people, you know what, they start judging on strip, like, you know, how much you make. These things actually matter.
Listen, I heard about that one too. The rule is, the guy said, you cannot go dating. As a man, you shouldn't go date if you have less than $30,000 saved in the bank account. That's what he said.
That kind of makes sense.
And then another guy that I know, and this guy was making $250,000 sitting down. Mm-hmm. Okay. He said that he did not want his girl to make less than $30K a year.
And that's the standard.
And he makes $250.
All
right.
And that's the standard. Some standards.
And he doesn't want her to make less than 30.
Not less than 30K. Do you see what I'm saying?
Why not?
Because 30K is about the right amount. So this is where experience, life, and relationship really definitely come in. If you are independent, you understand how you can live off of 30,000.
Right. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
So that's just the number. It seems like that works.
30,000.
I hate that now because sometimes people ask me how much I make and I don't really know off the bat, and that's not good. But I understand people's takes and what they want in a relationship. But at the same time, I do feel like there has to be some type of connection other than
the physical and existing and surviving.
Because money can go.
I mean,
money can go.
Yeah, but if it's going in the right places.
No, like just money.
Oh no,
like, there could be. You could have money. You could have money and be like.
I think Jay meant like bankruptcy or something.
A bad person, right?
Bad with your money. Yeah.
Yeah, but people just stay because of the money, which is unfortunate.
Yes.
You could have somebody with money. Like there's some people that make like 6 figures, 7 figures, but you never see them because they're working on.
They have to. You have to work.
And some people will be like, yeah, the money's good, but I want, to see my husband. I want to get it on with my husband. I want to touch my husband or wife or whatever. And they just can't
But
because
I gotta do 70 hours a week.
And then there's Manuel that's doing the lawn all day. And it's like, hey, he gets to see his family. I want to ruin his family. Or something,
This guy,
like, I'm joking.
This guy went to a...
I swear there's TV shows like that. Come on now. But anyway.
It does happen though. Like
right.
So I told y'all last week, proximity and time.
Right.
That's all it takes. See, no, don't do that. Don't do that, look.
Don't do what?
Proximity and time is undefeatable. Undefeatable.
For letting you know how somebody is?
No, I was just talking about. I assume what James was talking about was
proximity and time is what it takes to make an affair.
To make an attraction. Proximity and time.
That's funny.
If you spend 70 hours work making 7 figures, and you're 70 hours with other coworkers.
I don't think so. But yeah.
You don't think proximity and time? Hey man. Okay, as a
absence,
human,
maybe a little bit of avoid or absence.
What the heart grows fonder?
Yes.
That's a factor too, but like,
yes.
No, I said, it's a factor too, but like, well, no.
This one said.
Well, no, it's proximity because like, on how this human mammal body is designed, is to reproduce. That's the whole goal of a human, just to reproduce, right? So how this thing is made is like, look, for a failsafe, if for some reason you guys try to consciously choose not to mate with each other, I'm gonna put something in your bodies where eventually you're gonna mate with each other. And it's called proximity. I have to look at the exact scientific term for it, but it's like, I'll just say pheromones for now. It's something where like you're forced to just link. And the whole point is to mate.
You miss the smell or the odor of that person. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's our.
Well, hey.
But
about the divinity part.
Divinity.
Yes, female divinity.
What does that mean?
Female divinity, the power that they have.
Okay, yeah. I just feel like women have some type of power. As much as it's like, there's alpha males, which is, I don't believe personally that you're alpha male if you have to like put it out there that you're alpha male. But, and
does that really exist? Does that really matter?
I don't want to go there because we're already seeing beer mans get exposed.
Yes, I know.
That we use as like the leaders. I feel like everybody's trying to go up. Kevin Samuels passed away. RP to him. His family and friends are still going through whatever they're going through.
The parodies are impeccable.
Right. Everybody is trying to literally
men and women
get to where he
from
is.
Like what we said today? Andrew Tate, Kendra G, like Sinful P.
I don't know any of these people, so I gotta go look them up.
Who else? Michelle King.
Michelle
King.
Yeah, it's a light-skinned woman in her 40s. She's pretty good looking.
Wait, is she the one who talks about how women should be to their husbands?
Probably. She has locks right now.
Oh, locks. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't watch those things. I
thought it was the hypergamy lady.
There's a lot of people trying to like get that throne. They're just like, nah, let me.
Yeah. But it's kind of true though. I think that a lot of women do not know they have this divinity in them or this power in them. Because they're taught that they have to
submit or not submit. I even submit
the
word.
But submit for the wrong reasons. I think that
there's nothing wrong with submitting yourself.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with submitting, but it should be natural. It should be that and of course, when you do submit to somebody, it's usually because either of one of two reasons. Like warriors would submit to their competition because they knew that this person was stronger than them. They knew that they were not going to encounter or even endanger themselves because they knew there was going to be defeat. So they would submit, and in honor of knowing that this person was stronger than them. With a woman, if she meets the right candidate or the right partner, her submission is really just knowing that this person is going to protect her and ensure that she's going to be okay. That's the natural way of submitting. But if you always feel like you have to be competing, then you subconsciously know that this person is not someone you feel is above in that sense, who can take care of you. You actually feel like, yo, we're competing. You're actually like my competition.
I think people be in whole relationships competing.
Yeah.
The problem, I also do believe that in this world of evolution, we're gonna have issues where, because terms are being changed and words mean something different. Like the word submission sounds negative, or certain things sound, that's the way to go, or you know what I mean? Certain words and certain things are just being changed in a way where it's like,
the sentiment behind
it's a bad thing.
It's the age of the Aquarius. Age of the Aquarius?
I said age of the Aquarius.
No, it's the age of the Aquarius. You notice, if you guys continue paying attention, there's a lot of things just being exposed right now. Everything for a reason, right?
But I mean, at the same time, I think that people also need to remember that I think women have become this way because men have not been keeping up to their part.
Ooh.
Why would, if there's two of you,
why would a woman have to step up?
Exactly.
So crazy?
Why would she?
And some women are coming from a place where they've seen that and they're like, nah, I'm not gonna depend on a man because of this and that.
Exactly. If, say, for example, these men are running around, I'm not saying any group particularly, I'm just saying a man is supposed to be the head of the home. Let's say that, quotes around head of the home. But if he is not going to marry to be an official head, first off. Second off, he doesn't stay because he's there populating the world with many women. So he's not being responsible. How is he showing that or modeling that he is ahead? I think when you have your offspring now, when they have an absent parent, i.e. their father, an absent role model, an absent all these things, what actual model of a head do they have? So the daughters are supposed to seek for an absent person?
Or it's an origin story, like a vengeance origin, not really a vengeance origin story, but they've seen the struggle of someone, their parents, and they'll be like, nah, I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to put myself in that.
Exactly. So it comes out to be...
Or they get wrecked by it.
Yes, and then cause havoc and be the villain.
But sometimes I wonder, like, but here's the thing that, like, I may be stupid. Huh?
No, you can be...
You can be the villain and you can be the hero.
No, not like that, but like you're a victim at a certain point.
Yes.
But then you have to determine what is the age where you're like you're conscious of what you're doing. And you should know what right and wrong is by a certain age. And even that,
I don't think there's no
you know what
age
it is?
for that.
I was about to say it's called the age of enlightenment.
Yeah, I don't think there's no age for that.
There isn't.
Till this day, I'm learning that a lot of times it's because my lady, that till this day there's certain things that I'm like, yo, I shouldn't be moving like this. Or certain things I'm like, oh. Like sometimes it's been said to me the whole time and it did not hit till like now.
Makes sense, yeah.
Right?
So you guys don't find there's no
age of enlightenment?
Like enlightenment, but like
it's not a standard age to be like, by now you should know this. I don't think so.
They have. Society has. But it doesn't mean it necessarily is.
If that was the case, people would realize like, hey, shooting is
all.
wrong. and you shouldn't be doing this because it affects this, but people still do it anyway. If there was a standard that said, hey, people need to stop doing this, it should have been done by now. You know what I mean?
That's a fair point, but like, I don't know.
That's a mental thing. You can't gauge a lot of people's mental development.
I don't know if this may be the stupidest.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna go left for a second. Not left. I'm gonna go center. I'm gonna go like over here a second. Hip hop now.
Yeah.
If you're 45 still dressing like you're in your teenagers, shouldn't someone just be like, can you wrap it up? Like, can you dress like you're 45?
I mean, yes, there could be that conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Like
people shouldn't be sagging their pants
At 40, come on. So at some point,
sagging their pants.
at 40, Z.
Hold on, you shouldn't be
James.
sagging their pants after knowing the
But
origin story.
that's like
Also that.
that's
yeah.
like also saying that women who are of a certain age shouldn't be wearing belly tops. So
I will lean into that. Actually, I will actually lean into that.
But the way I see it, it's like,
Oh, that's more of
see,
that's more physical.
but baggy
but
pants is
then-
also physical too. Yeah.
No, but one's a belly button of a piercing, maybe a little bit, maybe a chain. But the other one's like
the origin
ew,
story.
that's your ass cheek. What the hell?
The problem is the
I'm trying to see
origin
that.
stories for me. Like, if you know the origin story about sagging pants was this, and came from the prison cells, and you know about the stuff, and you're so crazy to prove your masculinity, but you're sagging your pants. Like, there's a little off section here.
It's a little.
It's like pull up your pants, and then it's either then it's like you go from sagging your pants to at one point everybody went to super tight pants.
Which was interesting. That was an interesting way.
Off-putting two different.
They would go tight and sag, which is a whole nother.
And it's like, yo, like, what? Make up your mind. It's, you know what I mean?
That was an error. Wow.
Like, you're making yourself available in one way, and you're cutting blood flow in another way. Like, it's just like. But this is just how the trend goes, and when you look at it, you're kind of just like, why?
That's why suits have stayed.
I'm just throwing examples of like you're telling those jokes at 45. Come on, up your material. Come on.
That's,
again, I guess it's evolution.
Yeah, who's around them? Who's in their circle?
Who's having that discussion?
Are they actually in environments that allow them to grow? Who's actually correcting them? Those things matter. Are their goals and aspirations actually challenging them? Or is it constantly day in and day out?
I think
repeated.
I think Nicki got hit with that at one point because I think she was dropping some song, and not the recent stuff, not the recent stuff she did this year, but like, let's say like 2 years ago, and some of her fans was like, "Can you just make like grown woman music? Like, what? You're still rapping with?"
Yeah.
Like you
got kids.
You got kids. Like, what do you?
But
I don't know. I don't know if it's a wrong
people,
thing to have an age, but
I guess, and that's the thing. I don't think there's an actual set standard.
Oh.
Because in society, everybody's different. And it's very perplexed to be like, oh, everybody should be like this. And then some people will be like, why is everybody be like this? You're restricting my creativity or who I am as an individual. And what if I identify it? You know what I mean? It's all these things that come with.
Man, R. Kelly used to allegedly go at the... No, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to go left. I'm going light. I think he had you know how people go to award shows? Mm-hmm. Or red carpet events and people snap pictures? He was dressed like I was dressed in middle school. And he was doing he had the jorts on and the sagging pants.
The kid pose.
With the backpack on. And it was like, buddy, like, what are you...
But, hey,
that's
just society. That was just how it was then. But I don't know.
Hang it up.
I don't know.
Hang it up, man.
At the end of the day, that's
what
just...
What are you doing?
It's tough. It's tough.
It's very tough.
I'll pray for all y'all because we all need help. We all need help.
Yeah, it sounds like therapy, but who's your therapist?
Some people don't even believe therapy works, and that's a harsh reality too.
Listen, I have my own qualms about therapy too. There are certain therapies that I'd be like, yes, for sure, this is definitely something I would suggest. Others where I'm just like, this is something.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. I mean, the ones where it's like you explain everything to your therapist and your therapist gives you the language and the ability to see what you are challenging or battling within your own head or your perceptions is one good form of therapy. But I think that one's called cognitive therapy.
Okay.
But like when you don't take any of that and apply it and actually realize when it's happening, and even though they give you some of the steps, I'm gonna have to stop you right now because you're cutting their bag when you do these things. It's like Tylenol. You think Tylenol is gonna make you want to? You think they'll buy? You think these guys are gonna be like, hey, this one pill can make you feel better? Cure everything. Yeah. I mean, but mind you, not. Some people need more than one therapy, one therapist. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, more than one therapist, and more than one therapist style and approach to dealing with some of the things that they're going through. Mm-hmm. You know, so like I said, you have the one who can tell you about what's happening. They actually sit down and they listen. They tell you what's happening. Then you have another person who's like giving you strategies, tactics. being able to recognize what's happening. And then you have the other one who's out there with you in the field, assisting you, encouraging you.
I've never heard of the last one.
But
Someone actually out in the field.
But here's the thing, you know what's very tough about certain things though? You know what's very tough about it? Like, cause sometimes in this world, like I've seen situations where it's like, yeah, we need a therapy moment, but it's not about like legit therapy. You just need to have a conversation. Let's talk this out so we can find an issue. And then some, niggas will be like, no, it's for the fight. And I'm like, nigga, what? Like, that doesn't do anything. That's stupid. It is stupid. Okay. You guys have to discuss the situation, because if y'all all know the problem and we're all in a group and everybody knows what the issue is,
just
talk so we can bring the issue to the forefront. And then when we find out the issue is and everybody's accountable to know what the issue is, now we got the source. Let's find some solutions to the source. Why is this still coming up? Why are certain things happening? Why is this happening? But niggas will be like, you just let it fight. I'm like, bro, if these are your niggas, why would you let them in and do that in the first place? It's just stupid.
Yeah, that's what
it is. Simply, sometimes it's legit just a conversation. If it's reoccurring, have a conversation about it and talk it out. Sometimes it has to be that. A lot of these issues wouldn't be issues if we just talk it out. But pride is the devil. And it causes a lot of shit. A lot of stuff. Pardon my language. This whole alpha male thing, like, yo, everybody's pause, but everybody's trying to act like who has the bigger piece on the table. Like, everybody's trying to be like the big guy or the big dog, or they think that they're better. You know what I mean? It's solely stupid.
That's funny.
It is stupid.
Hey, man.
Pride is the devil. I'll say that. Pride is the devil. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these guys don't want to fight anyway.
That's the funny part, too.
A lot of people don't want to fight.
And they'll call the police on you. I mean, even though we were talking about
a lot of people
vandalism
a lot of people don't want to fight, and a lot of people can't handle the fight. If they lose,
but if you are provoking it, it's one thing. You provoking it and then you want to call the cops is two different things.
Certain people do that.
Right.
I wish I'll say the name. I'll say it off camera. But certain groups of people do that.
And it's
a lot.
That's who we're not talking about.
A lot of people are just instigators. They want to get you out of your element. They want to get you out of your element. But it is what it is.
Try to call the police on me?
It's just, it is what it is. We have a question that came up today and that was put to our table. And here's one of the scenarios. Here's a scenario. My boyfriend is angry with me because I don't care that she cheated with a woman. Well, I guess, sorry, this person's not their first language. English is not their first language. So here it is. I guess this guy, well, I'm gonna read it, but basically the guy is angry at his girlfriend because she cheated on him with a woman.
So he's not angry.
He is angry.
He is angry.
Oh, okay. He is angry. Okay.
So here it is. Yesterday, my girlfriend went out with her girlfriends to hang out and drink. Apparently, she got very wasted and ended up sleeping with one of her female friends. She told me as much this morning, crying. For context, she is bi, and I have known since we started dating. I just told her to calm down, and I really don't mind because I actually find it hot. Apparently, that was the wrong thing to say because she blew up and told me it was invalidating her sexuality, and that if it was a man instead, he would be angry. That's true. I would instantly break up with her. And she just left before I could say a word to her and blocked me on everything. Girlfriend claims I'm invalidating her sexuality because I'm not angry at the fact that she slept with another woman.
That's... Huh?
I understand. It's a person altogether. So the fact that you're not upset at the fact that I stepped out of the relationship.
Because it's a woman.
Period. Just because I stepped out of the relationship is a red flag. That's what she's basically saying. So, because if it was a man, now you're doing a condition.
I guess. I don't know. That's interesting to me. I get it.
You're making it conditional. So the concept of actual like faithfulness does not exist just because you like
the other side. And you're like, oh, okay, that's not bad.
Okay.
And it also opens up the door where it's like, oh, well, if he was to step out with somebody else, let's say, okay, she should be okay with the concept that he stepped out and slept with somebody else.
It doesn't matter what, like...
It doesn't matter. That was what her stance is. It doesn't matter whether or not it's a man or a woman. It's the concept that
he wasn't...
I get it.
She's upset. He wasn't
upset. He wasn't mad at the fact that it was the affair.
So
it was the affair is more important than who it is. It's just the affair. So she's coming there crying and it's like, oh, it was a woman. All right, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Harsh reality is a lot of guys probably will think that way.
Yeah.
It is the harsh reality because they're like, oh, that's not it's not like it's no penis was involved.
Because then on top of it, that means that she probably...
No, but that's just how people are.
Yeah.
That's just some people are. And then she's just like, you're invalidating who I am as an individual because this and that.
So it's like it's a play thing.
I'm going to say he dodged a bullet.
Because if that girl that she slept with was a stud, she got a fake penis.
But even some people just wouldn't matter if it was fake. Some people are just like, if it was a...
Yeah. But it was a fake penis. But if that same stud is transitioning, now it matters.
Some people it won't matter. Still.
It will matter.
I would say
it's weird.
That's the reaction.
We are having an issue about the trans individual in the jail cell who impregnated people.
I didn't have an issue with that.
I'm not saying you. I said we as in society. We are having an issue.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's society changes. Because society will have issues this year and then 10 years.
Because after that happened, they transferred her back to like the male prison.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Like, this is what...
That's my point.
I'm not going to get into that. But back to this.
Wait a minute. But even then, if you get pregnant, that means you're still technically... You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't go for the full...
Organs, yeah. You didn't have a full option. This is true. Yeah.
So I guess they kind of looked at it like, hey, your thing is still working. So,
But hence why it's how complex it is. I just want to get back to the...
Yeah, but no, the complexity is still the same in the sense that she is I don't know if she's like just born a woman, but she's a woman who is talking about the morality of the stance. That's what it is. She confessed that the fact that she cheated, she stepped out of the relationship, but the fact that this guy is saying and saying like, oh, that's okay because it's a woman, it is dismissing her sexuality.
This is how I feel about it. He has to understand that. You have to understand where she's coming from, and you have to take time to understand where she's coming from. I understand it may be hard, but you got to take time to understand where she's coming from.
I mean, it's a little late. She blocked.
Yeah. And you got to understand that.
I'm gonna come with my response. Something suspicious about that too.
No, but one thing I've learned when it came to certain arguments. When it came to certain arguments with women, I think I spoke about this before. Like, you just might not. You're just not gonna win sometimes when it comes to like a feeling and somehow someone feels about it and all these things. But when that comes to play, if someone's telling you how they feel about something, it doesn't matter how logical it is or how thing it is. You may feel like you're right, but when feelings come to play, you will not win. As crazy as it is, you just won't win. And even if you win, what is the reward for winning? There is no reward. Shop lock up. She's still mad at the fact that you think otherwise. You just don't win.
Wait, doesn't the shop lock up if you submit defeat in the long term?
What do you mean?
So like, don't some women see it as like, because you let her win, whatever that means, we'll just play quote, let her win, wouldn't she lock the shop later and be like, you let me beat you in arguments? I'm gonna lock it up.
See, and that's the complexity that I just leave alone. Because I may be wrong when I say this, but like there's just certain things I just feel like I'm way, like it's gonna be, my brain cannot function that way.
Okay.
Like my brain cannot function that way.
Do you want it to function that way?
I don't want to because life is a little bit more easier when I do. Yeah, life is a little bit more easier when I don't function that way. Like my life, like certain things are a little bit more.
Holy.
Certain situations, it's a little bit more simple of just being like, okay, I understand, and learning how she feels.
Right.
Sometimes you can fight it, you can argue it, you can go hell bad. It's like, nah, but you're not making any sense. But you just gotta be. You have to take time because sometimes it makes sense. It doesn't hit yet. Sometimes it's just full of emotions. Sometimes you just have to be like, okay, I understand what you're saying, and let's go back the next day and talk about this. Let the smoke clear and let's continue this conversation.
She didn't let it clear though. She immediately.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's gonna be all night because it's like they have to get it off, and you can't stop that movement of getting it off. You know what I mean? They need to say what they need to say, and you gotta listen.
What, for her right there in that situation, or just in general?
Just in general. Like, I'm just saying just in general. Like, sometimes it's like...
No, so I don't need to listen. Sometimes...
Reaction is fine.
Yeah, just sometimes it's like what? Like...
Well, you stay there.
And the fact, like...
You stay there, bucko.
The thing is, as he whispered before, the fact already blocked on everything... Mm-hmm. It's like
no. For him, he's a done deal, sir. Sir, back to your question. I mean,
yeah, something's very suspicious about that.
What was he wanting?
I'm not saying suspicious, but I do understand where she's coming from in a sense. You got to understand that I think for her, it's not one bun matters, all bun matters.
What?
Like all cheating matters.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that sense, like it's like, oh, you can't just be like, oh, if it's a man, you're offended and you'd break up with her, but if it's a woman, it's like, oh, it's not that bad.
Wait a minute.
Because that's not okay. It's just she's coming to you crying. Imagine that. She's coming to you crying like, oh my gosh, I just tarnished a relationship. How? You slept with a man? No, a woman. Oh, okay. It's not bad.
But you don't know if that could have been a whole 6-month relationship on the side.
That's what I mean. Like,
right.
It
could have been,
but for him, it doesn't matter. Some people will be like, yo, it's
the leaving part.
I feel so bad. I ate half of your burgers. That's all right. It's just a burger. But the problem is I ate the burger and it's not mine. Mm-hmm.
See, it's that aspect of, the acting you're doing is good. Like, it's that aspect of like, wait, how can we...
Something is still wrong.
Yeah.
It's still wrong.
It's not only that. It's like, when I read it this morning, I got a vibe from like, why aren't you reacting the way I want you to react? And because he went, oh, well, okay.
But that's the thing. Some people find certain things important than others, more important than others. Her sexuality is important to her. That's why she felt the way she felt.
I mean, she left the relationship.
Confusing.
She's gone. Like,
but
I mean, it's not confusing. It's very simple, as we said.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the act of stepping out of the relationship was wrong.
Yeah.
But she's not going to stay with somebody who's going to... Yeah. She's not going to stay with somebody who's going to be like, oh, it's okay.
But that's just what it is. Like, it doesn't care. It doesn't matter if you killed this person or whatever. To some people, it's like, it's not bad. Killing it's bad.
Right?
like if you steal something, it's like, you can steal for the rich or steal for the poor. It's still stealing.
Yeah. Still bad.
It's still bad. As much as people could justify it, like, well, they have it anyway. No. It's still bad.
Actually, if they kind of owe you because they used to own other people, you might get even out that way.
Stealing, the whole concept of stealing. I
get
stealing something that's
and
not
for hers,
yours.
it's the whole concept of cheating.
Right. And obviously she's going to be like, okay, some people will be like, whoa, okay, well, you know what I mean? Some people will be okay with, okay, you're cool with it. All right, bet. But some people, like, they take the moral or whatever, they take that foundation part seriously.
You know what though? I think that's how you're supposed to react. You're supposed to, because someone stepped out, you could be like, "Oh, thank God, I get to leave. Oh, thank you.
Oh, I get to cheat. Oh, yes.
Oh, thank
you know what I mean? Like,
I was, you know what? It was crazy because I was in a relationship where a guy, it didn't matter whether it was girl or guy, anyone I was talking to, he would be offended.
I think I was around that area.
Yeah. He was not going to have it. But that's to tell you, because again, it goes back to the sexuality. I'm a bisexual woman, so therefore I could marry man or woman.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a relationship with this guy, he doesn't want to know that I'm leaving him for a woman. Because then it's offending to him. It's offensive to him.
And I think in certain aspects, that's more offending. That's more offensive.
Right?
You could get a job done, so you went to a woman?
Oh.
That's how it sounds in their mind.
Yeah, that's how it sounds.
So you should like, this, like, imagine that. You, like, anyway, I'll leave that.
Or it could have been like
you see what I'm saying.
It could have been like she was just doing that anyway. You just happened to be, I don't know, a rest stop, I guess. I'll do that. And she's like, nah, that's not my final thing. And she just goes.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
so it's like, oh, she
dudes listen to that. Don't take great offense to that. That has nothing to do with anything. But that whole, I don't know, block on everything.
It's the block on everything, though. I can't lie.
And just disappear. That's a little.
My girl ran into the sunset with that girl.
Like something's like. Like she really cut. Like she was like, nah, I'm out of here.
Just look at these faces. But anyway, I guess we can wrap this up. Let's get into our plugs. Nerds, you guys have anything to plug?
You can follow me on Instagram at the NerdZ with 3 Z's, TheNerdZZZ, or definitely check me out on my photography page at ZZZ.studioto, so ZZZ.studioto, and you can see my most recent post of a portrait. Yeah, so if you're interested in doing branding, you're trying to do headshots, trying to do events, hit me up.
Del Nigiro here, DELNIJIRO on Twitter, IG. Yeah, I'm outside doing things, doing stuff. Support. I banned the word following from my language, and it's starting to come around. Things are changing. Because the difference between someone supporting you and someone following you, So.
I will not be outside. Jay Hunterville. I might lie. I might be outside sometime.
Come on, it's someone. You have to be outside.
It's Jay Hunterville on IG. Blue Pistols on Twitch. Blizzard Boy Cold's Pod out. I'm around. Coming to your a pod near you. Yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, send them to Ask the Vent, and complaints. All your complaints sent to us. Help us improve. Send us askthevent@gmail.com. We're on all DSPs. Let us know if we're not on one that you support, and we will definitely put ourselves there. If you have any questions, relationship questions, situations, scenarios that you want us to discuss here on this pod, we are welcoming to them. We will definitely.
The vent is not responsible for following. If we give you advice and your relationship happens to be terminated, just want to let you guys know that the vent is not responsible for your relationship.
Yes.
But please send us your questions, concerns.
Yeah, we are not responsible for any decisions you make after watching the vent. This is solely just a platform where people can vent out their situation, experience, and be discussed. Any decisions you plan to make, rational or not, we are not responsible for. We did not promote these. We just have a discussion. Nevertheless, you guys be safe out there.
Please be safe, jeez.
Please be safe out there. Appreciate your friends, man. Say, you know what? Say, hey, man, you're a cool person. You know what I mean? Also, like, hey, I don't know if this is something I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if you have a qualm with someone, you know what I mean? Maybe in the past, or you still think about it. Talk to them and discuss it. Squash it. Go squash some beef today. Squash some animosities, or try to.
That's a good slogan. Go squash some beef today. No, we're not talking about the actual beef we put on a dinner plate and you have squash and you have like a pork chop or whatever. No, like actual.
Yeah, man. You guys will be in the same environment sometimes. You guys be looking at each other a certain way. It's too much energy, man. You just screw face, look at it like, oh, this person's killing my whole vibe because they're here. Man, squash that.
It's 2022.
You might not have to talk to each other, but just say, hey, man, it's all love over here, bro. I know what happened has happened. Let's just squash this and let's just have a good time at these events. Let's just have a good time, please. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hail you up. Let's be the bigger person. You know what I mean?
The bigger people.
Let's do that. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Actually, be safe out there. Please be safe out there. And this is the Vent. We out. Peace.
Wash your hands.